Welcome to the Sam and Ray podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Ray.
Good morning, Raymond Andrew. How are you?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to start off because I'm already laughing. There's a news story that I don't know if you heard about. I didn't see it on the news, but I saw it on TikTok because I get all my information on TikTok.
Okay.
So in Nashville, Tennessee, a 52-year-old man, David Neal, was charged with aggravated burglary and assault. Mind you, he's a night shift manager at a Hilton in Nashville. He was charged with aggravated burglary and assault for entering a male guest's room and sucking on his toes.
What the fuck?
Yes, and it's funny because as I read the article that I found, the man whose toes were getting sucked recognized he liked it. He recognized the man because obviously he's the night shift hotel manager, but also because he had entered the room the day before two different times, once to fix a television with another associate, so he wasn't alone, but then the next time he came in was because he smelled quote unquote smoke.
What the fuck?
But security was like, no one else ever reported smelling smoke, and the night shift manager never reported it either. Like, oh, hey, I smelled smoke. So I'm guessing that the night he supposedly smelled smoke was the night he was first going to do it, but maybe the guest wasn't asleep or he woke him up and he was like, you know what, I'm going to try the next night.
What a weirdo.
Suck on your toes. That is creepy. And
where was this at again?
This is in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's fucking gross.
You guys can find it you put in Hilton manager and he'll pop up. That's it.
On TikTok?
No, on Google.
Oh, really?
He Google? Is like the first picture. Look at this man. Looks like he likes freaky stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why does he look like that?
He's like, man, I got caught. His little face is just like, damn it. This is the first time.
Not the first time.
Not the first time, but the first time I've gotten caught.
Not going to be the last.
Oh my God. That is so weird. And it makes me think like, what the fuck has gone down while we were at hotels and we didn't know about it?
I don't know. I don't sleep that long anyway, so I think we're good.
Oh, that's very true.
Like, I wake up, I think for me, like 2-3 hours of sleep, I'm straight. So
yeah, but you're also a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, because I only sleep for 3 hours.
Yeah, but imagine those 3 hours. You're a heavy sleeper, and I'm dead. Well, I'm kind of not dead to the world that much.
Yeah, no, you wake up pretty fast.
Yeah, like what the fuck? What are you doing here? I would have been like, "Fool, get out of here." He could have just hired a prostitute and been like, "Hey, let me suck your toes for a couple hours."
Yeah, but then
why lose your job?
He would have to pay.
Now he's paying.
I guess.
He's in trouble now.
I don't know.
Oh my God, that is some creepy ass shit. And
now you know all these weird ass stories are gonna pop up on your TikTok.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna share it with everybody.
That's so fucking weird.
But
how did this one come up? Somebody in your circle of friends has to have been like looking at stuff like that, because you know that's kind of, I guess, how the like algorithm works.
Your For You page.
Yeah, like everything. Like it recommends what other people in your circle are looking at.
And that cracks me up though, because I know that they were having some type of hearing. Don't ask me about it because I'm not all into like the trial for stuff that is important. So they were like having the
hold on, you're not into trials that are important. You're into the trials that are not important.
Well, all trials are important. However, what I'm saying is like when it comes to like, oh, TikTok should be banned because of blah. I'm like, you know what? Whatever, you guys decide that. It's all these specific white males. I'm going to say it. White males who have nothing better on their, like, further. Like, you guys have other issues going on in the world and you guys want to ban TikTok. But it was funny because you know how you have your For You page.
Okay.
Everything that you look at pops up on your For You page. One of the judges was on there like, well, how come I'm getting all this gay stuff? And I'm like, everybody's like, because you're probably looking it up. Like, I don't want that on my For You page. It's like, well, then stop searching it and it won't come up.
Stop double tapping all that stuff.
Stop liking it. Stop putting it in your search bar, because I'm pretty sure, sir, if we were to look at your searches, this is why it's coming up.
What a weirdo.
This is why.
Why is it coming out like that? Because you're weird.
And he was using some terminology that I was like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, I have no idea. And people in the comments were like, well, sir, how do you know what those terms are? if you're not into it.
He's over here snitching on himself.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be and he said something, and they're like, how would you know? How would you know, sir?
They're not gonna know. They're not gonna know.
How are they gonna know? How are they gonna know? But
That was probably his like his top search on his thing. They're not gonna know.
But also on TikTok, I learn everything from TikTok. I swear to you, that's like everything I learned. Apparently, what you're into, like sexually, is inherited through your genes because your family's into the freaky shit too. That makes you think. Think about it. Think about it. If you guys are freaks, and maybe your mama is too. I'm just saying. That is so scary.
But could it also be opposite?
What do you mean?
Like, what if your parents weren't freaks and now you're just like
one of them? Well, then maybe your granddad was.
All I'm saying is,
and
like,
it just went through.
Because you know, like, there's that thing of skipping generations.
Oh yeah.
So maybe, perhaps, it's just like
maybe your grandpa was into bondage and now you aren't. Oh. I'm not saying that Raven's into bondage.
I'm not. Yeah, what the fuck?
Whips.
What the hell's wrong with you? Just
or what's
stop while you're ahead.
I want to know, what is that thing that people dress up as, like these animals, these like
I have
costumes?
no idea.
Oh my god, how do I know about that?
Yeah, you're
stuff
trying
I
to act
watch.
like the judge.
Don't look at my search. Don't look at my
You're
search
starting to
bar.
act like that judge. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what to say no more.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to figure out where the fuck we went from a guy sucking toes to you claiming other people are fucking S&M and shit.
I'm saying it's hereditary, apparently. Supposedly.
I don't think that's true. Because I know some people's parents that are just like,
damn you freaky.
No, they're just, why are you on this freaky shit? I just said I know some people's parents who aren't, and you're like stuck on it. Are you okay? Jesus Christ.
My eyes are water.
Oh my goodness. See, that's what I was gonna say, oh my gosh, and my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
That's gonna be the title today.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong?
Anywho's, take over.
I think you had too much coffee today.
I feel like I haven't had enough.
Did you drink coffee today?
I did. Why are you fumbling over all your words? Are you getting scared? You're afraid that all your naughtiness is gonna come out on this podcast?
There is no naughtiness. Mm-hmm. You've seen my For You page. I
thought you were gonna say you've seen my naughtiness. I'm like, yeah.
The only new thing I have on my For You page now is probably like plants.
Yes. My husband has turned into a
plant man.
A plant man.
Got my cafecito and some plants.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault. I just wanted a little decorative look, and then all of a sudden we have more plants.
We do. We have so many plants now. Well, not so many, but to us it's a lot.
We got like 7
For us
plants.
it's a lot. Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah. But it's, you know what?
And that's not being like so kind of like
No.
They're really pretty.
Not just that, but so remember I even sent you that one link that shows like the benefits for certain plants. Mm-hmm. Like, and I know we deal with allergies a lot, like us, the kids, like, yeah. And there's like certain plants that actually like help with stuff, and they clean the air, even though like, because, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old.
So I didn't have to buy that air purifier. I could have just got a plant.
No, you can.
I'm
could
just kidding.
I mean, either or, but it's a trip. I tripped out on shit like that. Like, because you already know me. Once I like get one little thing, I indulge in it, and it's just like fuck. Like even cooking, like I'm gonna learn how to make this, and then we're like, look what I bought, and I come home with like cutting boards and knives.
Like, oh my god.
So don't, if you're trying to get into something, don't tell me, because the chances are I might fund it.
Yeah. Like, do it. I want to see how it works. I want to see how it turns out.
Man, whatever though. I like my plants.
I like your plants.
What's you besides people sucking toes? What's on your For You page?
My For You page. So like I talked about last week. I think it was last week. It was Cake Gate, where all these bakers are like, this lady's charging an arm and a leg for a cake that looks like my 5-year-old made it. And then I ended up on Oh, I ended up on Chinese food TikTok, but it's because I guess in England, don't quote me on this, in England or wherever, they talk it getting a Chinese. They're getting a Chinese, but they're talking about getting Chinese food. I got a Chinese, and everybody's like, "You mean you got Chinese food?" Like the way they
Wait,
say
where
it.
is this at?
I think they said in like the UK or something.
I mean, well, they do have different ways of speaking.
Yes,
though,
but then but not only is it
the way
like,
you said it sounded like they're saying it in China.
no, I'm getting a Chinese. I got a Chinese. I don't know how the fuck they said it,
But
they say it weird.
one thing I'm gonna ask a request, and this is public now.
Uh-huh.
Please don't imitate accents.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All your
I don't.
accents.
Yeah, all my accents end up sounding the same, but it's in like the UK or something. And the way they say it, people are like, "Why do you say it like that? Just say you got Chinese food." Just like you say you got Mexican food. Like, do you go say, I'm going to go get me a Mexican? Like,
yes.
a Chinese, like, you know, like, or something. Because they say it something like that. But the thing is with the Chinese food, it comes with French fries.
What the fuck?
Yeah. They're like, why the fuck are you getting French fries? And then they come with these things called chicken balls. And everybody's like, what the fuck is a chicken ball?
What did it look like?
Like balls. Not like balls.
Like
but
meatballs.
Like, yeah, I guess like fried.
What the fuck?
And people are like, what? But then also,
we don't know exactly what Chinese. Because the thing is,
this is very Americanized here.
If you tell Chinese people like, oh, let's go get Chinese food, they're probably
like you mean
that's
food?
just food, bro. Like,
you mean like food? Yeah.
Because I've noticed we did an event a couple weeks ago, and it was a cumbia salsa merengue band.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the composers in that band, he was actually Indian.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the singers, she was Indian. So she was just like, yeah, this, like, they started sharing, like, their delicacies with us. Like, they're like, oh, come sit with us. We brought some food. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. So we go and we sit with them, and we're just chopping it up. And she pulls out, like, out of this foil. It looks like a tostada, but the way it's not fried the way we fry a tortilla. It's fried kind of like a buñuelo, but it's not even. It has no sweetness or anything to it. It's just like, and I was like, she was like, it's like a tostada. I was like, so how do you guys
use it?
Like dress up the tostada? And she's like, most of the time we just eat it just like that, like a big ass chip.
Oh,
and I was like, what the heck? And then she had like this trail mix stuff, but it was like a curry trail mix, so it was like rice and like wheats and grains and shit like that, but it was like mixed with the curry seasoning. And I was like, what the hell? Like, so like I say that because I think a lot of cultures have similar stuff, but we just call it something different. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like Chinese food, I wouldn't chicken balls. There's like meatballs probably. So like, you know what I mean?
I have no idea.
But I wonder now. I want to know.
But they also used curry sauce and like a lot of curry, and we're like, curry isn't Chinese.
Well, there's a different type of curry.
Because
Jamaican. So I had Jamaican food for the first time with Nick, and he took me to this place over in Pomona. And I was just like, oh, it's curry. He goes, it's not that type of curry. Like their curry, like Jamaican curry versus Indian curry is way different. Like Jamaican curry is more like, it's like barbecued, and Indian curry is more so like a spice, like a spiced season, right? Yeah. So I was just like, oh, okay. So maybe their version of curry is different too. In China.
I have no idea, but that's the TikTok I'm on right now. Like everybody's
I'm
like
stuck on chicken balls.
Yeah, everybody's like talking about it and like what's going on. Yeah, that's what's on my For You. What's on yours? I'm interested. What's on yours?
On mine, besides the plants, probably
boobs.
No.
Butts. Women.
No,
just kidding. That's on my For You page.
You've seen what's on my For You page, and I always send you shit because it's always like couples.
Yeah.
Like couples doing shit. Or food. Or it ends up being like the Amazon buys.
Oh my god!
Like all the and we bought one, the thing that we have for, the bathroom, for the toothpaste and the cup holder. Yeah. Like I bid on that one and had to buy it. Which some of the things that these people end up buying or suggesting, they're like, hey, For You. See, I got the first one that pops up is a Steve Harvey short. Then the next one is Matt Barnes explains how how. See, this is the one thing. Like, read that. That doesn't make no sense.
Matt Barnes explains how Hit confronted Derek Fisher about sleeping with his wife.
I'm
Like they put a hit on him?
No, I think so, because obviously this isn't real news. This is like people just putting their own shit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he means to say Matt Barnes explains how he confronted Derek Fisher about sleeping with his wife. Let's see. Jessie Reyes, growing up Latina. Oh, I seen this video. This one she's asking about like what are some of the things that you taking for granted like when you were younger. And I think her answer was like house parties, like with family. I was like, man,
I
like,
miss house parties.
so that was stuff like that, like just random ass shit.
But going to the house parties, like missing house parties with family, my thing is though, is that as you grow older, you realize how some of these people that your family partied with, and even if they are family, are full of shit.
Oh.
And that's why I think a lot of us don't have those type of parties anymore, because you kind of grow apart. And as you get older, because as a kid seeing this, like, oh yeah, so much fun. And then now you don't have it. It's just like these people actually were toxic.
And it's not, it's weird because like, so I think we got to understand like time takes its course, right? Mm-hmm. So like for us, like I do miss, I wouldn't say house parties because I didn't really grow up like that. Like my parents were very to themselves, and that's probably why I'm the same way. Like, and I always tell you, like, if there's something going on, just go, and I'll either meet you there or I'm not gonna go. Yeah. You know, but it's just like I wouldn't say they were house parties, like Jen and Roman's barbecues and shit that we used to do, and it would just be us, like, and Josh and like 2 or 3 other kids, you know, like I miss those. But then I also had to look back and like why are we not doing those now? And it's just like it's time, like different jobs, different opportunities, and it's for the good, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, I feel like the house parties that we used to go to, I never wanted to be at any of those because a lot of the time it was like with my dad's family, and it was that, like, I feel like sometimes those people were just inviting us because they had to invite my dad so that he wouldn't talk shit or he wouldn't feel a certain type of way because he took care of all of them, right? Yeah. So it's like, oh, we have to invite him. But it's just like,
because he's our money.
Pretty much.
He's our person that takes care of us.
He's the one that
funded their life.
Well, not just like because we didn't have money, but it was just more so like he helped us get here into the States and helped us, like, you know. But it's just like, I guess for us, like, I knew my parents, like, my dad's family didn't really like my mom, so it was just like when we would go to those type of events, it's just like it was just like, you know, like it kind of like, and even at a young age, I felt like it was condescending, like, you're not here because we want you to be here. And you know what I mean? No, just
I'm glad you guys could make it.
Yeah, this is weird. I would say, but the ones I would say that were kind of like how Jessie Reyes described was probably my Aunt Sandra's. Like my Aunt Sandra, like I had my 2 cousins, which were not even by blood. And then that was another conversation we've had before. It's just like your family, like we grew up with that. Your family's your blood, like blood's thicker than water. Nope. Like it's really not. It's not. Like I love the people that are in my life because I choose for them to be in my life, and I'm not. I think the people that I've chosen that are a part of my life, I don't think I regret anything that I've lived with them. You know, and there's people like, shout out to Nancy because Nancy. I've known Nancy. Yes. I knew me and Nancy were friends before you and her were friends. I like
how you always throw that in there.
But she's like one of those people where it's just like I never regret meeting her. I never regret anything, like how our life has panned out. And even though her and I don't speak a lot like we used to, I'm glad that you two like speak a lot because this is like a lot of the people that I feel like are close to me. I realize you gravitate to them somehow, and then you kind of take over from there.
Yeah, because I'm the better one out of the 2. What are you talking about?
but it's cool because it's just like we see the same thing, but then you also realize like that's who your family is. Yeah. Right? Like I'm not gonna bring no one around, especially around you and our kids that I wouldn't bring around my mom or my dad. You know, so it's just like those people are my family, not necessarily, and it's not like a knock on the people that are my family, like that are blood related, but there's just certain circumstances that it's just like, you know, we weren't blood related, I really wouldn't fuck with you.
Yes, and I've even said this to my sister. I'm like, you know, if I didn't know so and so and I saw them on the street, I would not be friends with them. Like if I ever had to like, you know, work with them or went to school with them, I was like, there is no fucking way I would be friends with this person. And we only see them because they're blood.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you sometimes. But I have to put on a hi.
But you don't have to. That's my point. Cause
well, no, not anymore. And I think it's a lot to do with like
the way you were brought up.
Because younger, being really young and living with my family and whatever. We always had parties. There was always a party. Big parties with family and all this stuff.
Were they parties or were they just like gatherings? Because I feel like I know
maybe both.
Because I would say like anything that had, from my experience in my time with being with you, I would say like the Rubicavas, right? Anything that was there.
Oh, those are those are the ones that
those weren't even parties. Those are like
but those
are just living.
This is beyond.
Oh, okay.
This is more people. See, you think because that's all I have is the Rubicavas that's who I'm talking about, but I'm not. I'm talking about the people that there were more than just that, and it as we got older, we realized like, okay, extended family outside of that are kind of not worth hanging out with sometimes. You know what I mean? You kind of just cut them off because it's just like,
well, because
this has nothing to do with them.
No,
this
I
has
know.
to do with people.
Well, that's what I'm just asking. Like, is it that or is it? I don't know, and that's why I never understood. Like, I'm glad we don't really like. Obviously, if our the core people that we have in our lives are like come here and there, like then we'll go.
We'll go.
But it's just like I got cousins that I haven't seen in a while, and it's just like there's no point in me trying to interact with that. Like it's not disrespectful. I'll be cordial with you, but at the end of the day, like don't hit me with like we're family stuff. Like if we were family, then we'd be, if that's how you consider it, then we would be a lot closer than that. Like there's time, like I said, like again, I reference Nancy only because I know my relationship with Nancy isn't what it used to be, but it's not a bad thing.
No.
Like she knows what I'm doing, and when she comes over or we see her, she's like, "Hey friend, how you been?" Like it's none of this must be nice type of conversation, you know? Like it's just like, "Hey, like I'm glad you guys are doing good." Like, and then we leave it at that and we all just enjoy time. Like it's like you pick up where you left off, where it's just like
those are like the true friendships. Like I think I even saw it on TikTok. Like a true friend is someone who's going to be there and you guys grow without each other, but don't grow apart. Like you guys have your own time. You guys, because life gets busy.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, your life gets busy, but you know that even when you guys finally do get together, nothing's changed.
It's like it's not even like, oh, like we're back, like we never left, like that term that everyone's like, oh, we're back, like we never left, like the relationship's still the same. And I was even talking to Ricky about this not too long ago, and I was just like, sometimes I feel like an ass because I have been like kind of like dismissing people, and it's not because I don't want to talk to them, it's just I don't want to talk about what I know is going to end up being talked about. Meaning, sometimes I'm just tired of talking about the things that I'm doing. So it's just like, if we're more than just friends, like we're like considered family to each other, I don't want to, like we see each other's accomplishments. Yeah. Let's talk about something else. Because my exhaustion comes from putting in all that work for doing stuff like that. So let's just talk about fucking barbecues or fucking recipes or just random ass shit that has nothing to do with anything, so that there's a break. But sometimes it's like, why are we talking about this? Like I just got done doing this, or like this weekend was filled with all this shit I don't want to talk about it. I just want to live life. Like it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going through like a weird phase right now. But it's just like I don't like.
Maybe they don't know how to talk to you. I don't know.
Maybe they don't know how to talk to people. Like they don't know how to speak just in general. Like how can you have like an actual conversation about anything if it's not about yourself and your accomplishments?
Yeah.
Right. Like that's why like even the whole shit that we do with the Rose City Sound, like I expect that from strangers, right? Like people, oh man, how did you get that and this and that? Like that's cool. Like I expect that from people I don't interact with like normally, right? But to get it from people that are close to you, it's just like we could talk about something else, bro. Like you know me enough to talk about other things other than shit like that, you know?
I feel that.
What you looking up here?
I'm looking up something because, well, continue, and then I'll let you know.
No, you should have been looking it up. Now,
well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it.
Let's see.
Oh, okay, so talking, right? You're talking to people, like you see it, like you run into a friend or whatever. I saw a TikTok. This is why I'm thinking about it, because it shows this girl and she's like, a friend asks her like, oh, so, how's life been treating you? And then she says like, oh, it's been like, and then the Holy Spirit kind of stops her and is like, they don't want to know. They don't really want to know. They're going to use it against you later. So have discernment and just watch what you tell people, which I feel like sometimes after not seeing people for a while, or just people who you don't generally talk to, but still have like kind of a, I don't know if I should be talking to you. I get that a lot. And especially at work, there's certain people, like someone came to check on me one day. And as soon as she walked in, I was like, what's going on? Because
you kind of already knew. Because
I'm like, what's going on? Like, I know that you don't really come to visit me or to talk to me.
This isn't normal.
This isn't normal because we're not friends like that. So I'm like, what's up? She was like, oh, don't worry. I haven't been sent. Like I wasn't. And so I was like, well, with that response, that's a fucking red flag. She's like, I just wanted to see how things are going. And in my mind, I could hear it. And it was probably God and the Holy Spirit. They're like, don't give her too much information. Just be like, it's fine. Everything's good. How are you doing? Don't share too much, because this person is I'm on the fence with her, but I'm more over to the side. Like I'm basically on the other side of like, don't trust this person at all. And I get a lot of people like that. And it's kind of sad. Like, yeah, everything's great. How about yourself?
It's probably just like a extra, ooh, look at that cute little girl on the cover of your phone.
On my wallpaper, my little brat.
But I think that's just a. I've said this before, like a long time ago. It's like a superpower in a sense. It's like an extra instinct that you gained from the experience of life, right? Like my mom has always been that way too. Like my mom just kind of knows, and I think that's why my mom is very to herself. So if my mom communicates with you, she fucks with you. Just like any type of communication. Because my mom, if she doesn't like you, she just won't talk to you at all. Like she won't talk to you, and you won't have to ask if she likes you or not, because her face will tell you.
Say it all.
Like, you know what I mean? So, but it's just like
on TikTok they go bombastic side eye, and she's just like, her eyes just like.
But I don't know. Like maybe it's just something that because of all the shit that you've been through in all your other like jobs and situations in life, like you just have grown to be accustomed to picking that out now, because you weren't always good at that. No. Like I remember there was a time where I would have to tell you like, shh, like that's enough. Like, shh. Yeah. Like
don't be too friendly with certain people.
Yeah. And
remember Membrane?
Oh yeah. She was weird.
We called her Membrane because she was dirty and we said she didn't wipe. And she'd have membrane down there. But and it still holds true. I'm pretty sure she still looks like she doesn't bathe or wipe. But she was one of them. Like we thought we were cool, like we were really good friends, and then come to find out she was just Not
She was
only
just plotting the
she
whole
was
time.
just plotting the whole time to try and take anybody down, anybody, and at a job that nobody fucking cared about.
And the crazy part is like when you look back at stuff like that, right? You just end up saying like,
I should have known better.
not not that, but it's just like damn, like because sometimes in that moment you take it personal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like what's your problem with me? It's like they didn't have a problem with you specifically. They just that was just who they were, and that's how they were going to treat everybody. You just happened to be in that crossfire of it. It's just like, what the fuck? Because I do remember she used to try to like force you to go places with her.
Yeah, all the time.
And that's how we ended up figuring out how to call her membrane. Because you guys went to Crazy Horse, remember?
We went to,
yeah. Shout out to Crazy Horse
God,
back in the days.
Horse.
But
I swear to God, you touch
it's
any
now Portos. Now it's
you
Portos.
touch any surface in a fucking Crazy Horse, and you got an automatic STD.
I've never been to Portos, but I know for
it's
sure.
Crazy Horse.
I'm not going to that Portos.
No, you guys did not sanitize it. You guys should have just burned that motherfucking down and built.
Yeah, that Portos has like lingering effects and random shit. Just I'm not eating that bread.
I had gone like twice to Crazy Horse. Okay, twice, because I was never a club person. Okay, well, take me to like an 80s bar, maybe.
You're more like a kickback person.
Yeah, take me to like an 80s bar. Take me to like a old school. There's like an old school 80s club in fucking Claremont.
Pomona.
Okay. Well, is it like?
It's literally the borderline. It's like right across from the Pomona Swap
and
meet.
it's nothing but cholos and oh my God, I fucking love it because they're just so fucking chill. And they're listening to the best fucking music. Anyways, my whole point is that when I went to Crazy Horse, like out of the 2 times I ever went, there was this guy old enough to be my father there. Okay. This was when I was like 18. I was like really cute. And I was with my friend. He's like, oh, you guys want to dance? And I'm like, no. He goes, all right, well, how about I stand here and watch you guys dance together? And I was like, what the fuck? Nah, I think I'm good. Well, then if you don't want to dance with me, do you guys mind like grinding up? No, he didn't say that, but
what a weirdo.
Like, well, do you mind if I watch you guys?
You sure that wasn't the guy that was sucking on that guy's toes?
And you know what? He could have moved to Nashville. You never know. He's probably like, they knocked down the Crazy Horse. I'm gonna go to a Hilton and start sucking some toes.
Why do you and Ricky attract some of the weirdest fucking people sometimes?
Listen.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these? Like,
yeah.
And you guys are like, hey.
Yeah, like, hey, what's up? I'm like, but at least I said no. At least I didn't start like dancing all like shaking it like,
how much you got?
There was even a time where I went to a different 80s bar and there was this, he was young. He was like my age. And I was dancing by myself with my friend, and he comes and starts dancing, and my friend leaves me. So I'm dancing with this guy, and then I'm like kind of tired of dancing with him. So I start doing random moves, you know, like my, like trying to get out of here type of moves. And he starts mimicking it. And I was like, oh shit, he's into this. I can't get out of here. And so then he not whispered in my ear, but he was talking in my ear because the music was so loud. He was like, hey, can I get your number? And I took my ring off that I had on my one hand and I put it on my left really slick. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm engaged. And then I left.
Well, we hadn't been together.
Who knows? We were on and off.
You know, the funny thing is, even if we were on the off part or we were on the on part, it's like, nah. We get a kick out of shit like that.
I got some dick waiting for me at home. I'm just kidding.
I got some toes to suck later. You
but
weirdo.
going back to oh my God, going back to like the friends thing and not knowing like maybe you shouldn't share this, maybe you shouldn't. What I also do not like is that I will talk to somebody, right? Mm-hmm. I will be friends with them. I will try and get to know them, and then later on, someone who knows them probably a little bit better than I do will be like, "Oh, you didn't know that this, and that." I was like, they never told me that. They were just telling me like the one specific thing they wanted. And I was like, and I'm trying to help them, give them like advice because they're asking me, but they also didn't tell me about
the specifics. Well, see, I've always said that.
And it irritates the shiz out of me.
Because the thing is, you could lie to anybody, right?
Yeah.
But you can't lie to yourself. And oftentimes people end up they only will tell certain people certain amount of things because they're just trying to validate their wrongdoing. Right? So it's just like, let me talk to this person because they don't know the entire scenario. And I don't have to explain the entire scenario. I just got to explain my perspective and why I think I'm right. So when I explain it to them,
Yeah.
they're gonna agree and say that I'm right, as opposed to explaining the full situation.
And I feel like that recently has happened.
Oh, really?
And I'm just like, are you...
Do I get cheese midtime after this?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm just like, what are you doing? How would you figure that I wasn't going to find this out if I talk to other people you talk to that they know the whole story? And I'm just like, oh, I just feel so bad for them because they're like, well, don't you know that, you know,
this is why
A,
this
B,
is
and C, and then this is why? She's kind of like, or he's kind of like.
See, that's why
I'm like, what the
you just
fuck?
kind of take it with a grain of salt.
I know,
It's
and
just
now
like,
I'm like, I feel
used.
I feel used.
I'm dirty.
I feel disgusting. I'm like, I'm trying to give you my best advice.
Well, you did. You still gave them your best advice, but you gave them your best advice for their
situation they laid out for me.
Yeah,
not the entire
for their benefit.
But it's just like, I could have told you, you're kind of wrong. Maybe you should stop doing the other stuff.
Yeah.
Now my advice is kind of like,
no, I don't even want to talk to you.
No, I don't know how. I feel like I always go back to, I don't know how to talk to you. Like, I don't. First of all, I'm awkward. That's always going to be the song. Like, I don't know. And then if you're lying to me, like, I don't know. I don't know how to talk to you.
Yeah, I don't know. People.
We need to get that on one of the buttons.
But I never understood, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Or the, why you always lying.
I guess it makes sense why people do that shit. But we as people who don't maneuver that way, we got to like take that shit into consideration.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just so hard.
Because we got to remember, other people aren't us.
Yeah.
Right. So we can go about something a certain way. But who's really the fool if we just, like, I'm not calling you a fool, but in a sense,
no, I am.
But in a sense, you are. If you're just gonna believe everything they say,
I'm too naive.
Man, I just think you're just too nice. Like, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And for you, like, if I say something, you're like, oh, don't say that. You don't know that. Like, I know I don't know the truth, and I don't know everything to what's going on, and that's why I'm telling it this way, because it's like.
And I know on Twitch, when we have on this frequency, when I'm watching you guys, I always roast you. And I'm like, no, he doesn't know everything. He's not that smart. But when it comes to some people, you hit the nail right on the head. Because you're always like, nope, this person. But I was like, no, they're not. Like, you don't fucking know. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. I was just burned by the person that you said, you know, you're usually right. So that about people, people, not about other stuff.
Well, here's I think so. The reason, and I would say the reason why you say I'm not perfect, and I say I'm not perfect too, but I think it's just more so because it's like, hey, you're my wife. You're married to me. You see the good. You see the bad. We see everything. Because people could be like, oh, your wife, she's so funny. I'm like, no, she's not.
Excuse me? I know you're not telling people I'm not.
I did until right now, but see how serious you got and mean you are?
Because you know what? You saying that is a fucking lie.
Look at.
I'm amazing.
You went full narcissist mode.
I am funny as hell.
If they could see your fucking eyes,
you're going to get it as soon as this fucking mic is.
You gave me crazy eyes right now.
Like,
but no,
run you over.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, we can't tell our other people's significant others what they are. We're only that to who the person is saying it to, in a sense, right? Like, I can't.
That hurts me. You don't love me as much as everybody else.
No, fool. What I'm saying is, like, like if the girls on this frequency are saying like, yeah, like, he's always right, or he always like.
Oh yeah,
sees
I'm like,
the perfect
shut
scenario.
up. No, he's not.
It's because they deal with me in a different capacity as to true. Where you deal with me with the children, with, you know, so it's like we see each other flip out. They don't see that side of us. They don't see that, like, you know, she's funny, but she's fucking mean as shit too. You know what I mean? Like, or that, oh, he's fucking Mr. Perfect. Like, and I roll with it in a comedic sense, because it's like, I'm not it might be perfect in whatever scenario we might be speaking of, but that's just because of experience.
That's a comedic sense? Because I thought you were for sure serious, that you thought you were perfect.
No, fuck no, I'm not fucking perfect.
All right, you hear it, guys. You hear it right here.
I say it all the fucking time that I'm not perfect, and I've told people like, don't call me perfect, because the thing is, when I explain certain scenarios or situations, and I could kind of, I wouldn't say predict these things, but I could kind of tell you like which way it's going to be, is because of it's experience. I fucked up. How can I be perfect if I fucked up and I know what's going to happen? Right? Like, I fucked up in the past. So clearly I'm not perfect because I've done it in the past. Now I'm not giving you advice because I'm almighty. I'm giving you advice because I fucked up before, because I'm not perfect. Like, I just so happen to in my lifetime lived a lot of fucking life, right? So it's just like, no, that's not gonna work, or this is not gonna work, or no, that's perfect the way you're going. Like, just because I had time to evaluate things like that, right?
Yeah.
Some people don't. I think, like how you're an overthinker with certain shit.
With everything.
I'm an overthinker when it comes to like past experiences and how we could fix things like that. Yeah. Like, that's what I'll overthink about, and obviously other things too. But there's levels to, or just different scenarios of overthinking, you know?
Yeah. And speaking of overthinking, I believe that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves out there. Make sure, if you need help, call for help.
You do, because
make sure you take your meds. Go for a walk.
Or if you're anti-meds. I'm not anti-meds, but I feel like medication from a pharmaceutical standpoint should be your last resort. So if you can find other
ways of having
doing it, then go about it, because there's other like natural remedies and other like practices that you can try.
And drinking is not one of them.
Yeah, no, drinking is definitely not one of them.
Drinking or other types of drugs are not one of them. Okay.
But I say that only because like the end of last week was heavy. Like, it was. Shout out to my wife for coming in clutch on a night where it's like nothing was expected to happen that day, and you ended up picking me up.
Oh, like, shit! I forgot about that.
But it was just like, it was a heavy ass fucking end of the week, and reflecting on it, it has to do a lot with shit like that, where it's just like you have to do the work before you get into these situations. But and don't wait till a situation happens. Like, do the work before, during, and this way the after effect of everything. The guest that on this frequency had last week, SP, was like spot on with that shit. It's just like it's almost like a game. Like, you have to take the like if you're in a sport, like you're in a team, like you practice before the game, right? So that's like that's the pre-work and everything you got to do to prepare yourself. But during the game, you have to make the adjustments. So make the adjustments, don't become so like, well, what do I do? Because then that creates other ways of being so fucking like anxiety filled.
Mm-hmm.
So like throughout the entire process, just like take time for yourself. Like,
yeah,
it's okay to chill out. It's okay to be like, hey, I'm like the other day, the kids were running you fucking crazy, and I was like, let's just go to Target. We had no purpose to go to fucking Target. Mm-hmm. I think we just needed trash bags for the trash can, and then it's just like, let's just walk around. We'll go to Target for a little bit without the kids.
That's my safe place.
but you have to recognize that shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and if you're in a relationship with somebody, recognize that and offer it. Like, hey, why don't you just go somewhere by yourself, or you? Because I tell you that shit. Like, so why don't you fucking go? Like, just go with one of your homies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then it's like, well, they can't just drop things and just go. So it's like, okay, they can't, but they could. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure everyone could use that, right? Like, you plus whatever friend you might want to like invite. You don't know what they're going through, and they might need that time to just be like, this is not be mature right now, and just go fuck around and blow money at Starbucks and Target.
Yes.
You know, like, sometimes you just need that shit. Take that time for yourselves to be immature. That's it.
Also, before we wrap this up, Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, Mexican Mother's Day is, I believe, today.
It's today.
Yeah. So
Happy Mother's Day.
Dia de los Madres.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say it like that because if I say it too authentically, we might get shut down.
Oh my gosh. But also Happy Mother's Day,
Happy Mother's Day's
for everybody who celebrates on
all the mamas.
Sunday. I like how Mother's Day and mental health awareness is all in the same month.
In the same month.
So if you're a mom and you need a break, it's understandable. Totally understandable, because I could fight my son on a daily basis. And I just pray to God that he just gets me through. I'm like, go to bed. Is it 9 o'clock? Can't go. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, that boy. But anyways, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. And thanks for everyone who really this is what, episode
13?
14, I think, maybe 15. I don't know exactly the number, but we're in the teens. And this started off as just a thought of Samantha wanting to just
talk,
because
that's all I do.
But we have been talking, and people have been listening.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate everybody. At any time, you guys are more than welcome to hit the DM and send us any type of suggestions, requests, or anything that you guys want to hear us talk about. And I think that's it.
And we also have an email. Salmon. Is it the Salmon Ray Podcast or just Salmon Ray?
Just hit the DM.
Yeah, just do the DM.
Just
I forgot what our email was.
The email.
Next week.
The email is really just there so that we could have these accounts. It's not really there for.
That's true.
It's kind of like everyone.
We only sign up for emails so we can get free stuff off of different.
Yeah, so we can get all the different discounts.
That's why I have like 40 emails
from Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
And that concludes
the Salmon Ray Podcast.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.